the learnings of yesterday, I know we'll have a feedback session a little later, but just for session one, do you still have any more questions you want to resolve? Only about the concept, not about the lab part. We will or our workshop part we'll discuss later. But anything else you want to cover today, that's something we can cover in maybe a couple of minutes now. No? Okay. You all have mics and cameras on. Any of you want to come on camera and talk, that will be great. But this is your own choice of privacy. It's up to you. If you want to be on the camera, it's your choice. Okay. We have seen, I think we heard at least 4 or 5 people have some personal activities. They were active in WhatsApp, but they have some personal engagement. They may not be able to join. So maybe the number of people attending might be less today based on what they hear in the WhatsApp, right? So shall we start? Jagriti, what do you think? Speaking
I think we can begin, Satya.
Great. So yeah, so I think the modus operandi is the same. So we'll go with A and 2D, unless anybody is interested to go in the reverse order. The team D starts first, and then CB. So shall we do that? Maybe. How about this? Right. Let's start with team D and see how it goes. Anybody there from team D? People are yet to join, is it?
Yeah, so I think Aishwarya, Prasanna, not sure if they are in the meeting. 1 second.
I think they are going through the same order, I guess.
Aishwarya is in.
Okay.
Aishwarya, are you able to unmute yourself and speak? Okay. I don't see her now. Okay. Maybe we can begin with the team which are already in the room, Satya, if that is fine.
I think we go with the normal order in that case. They might have already thought team B comes late. Okay, we go with the normal order only. Sorry for asking the rapid fire. Seems like you prepared in your own order. Okay, team A, are you prepared to present? Anybody there to present?
Yes.
I think it's Preetham, yeah.
See,
yeah,
I told you. So they are prepared in their order. Okay.
Yeah, I was we were thinking that both Shweta and myself will present, but Shweta, if you don't mind, can I go first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. All right, so I'll present my screen. I'm very new to Zoom. I need to figure out how to do that. How do I present my screen? That's my first question.
I think it's not enabled yet. Can you just check Satya or Jagriti? We don't see an option.
Shweta, it's done now. It's done now. You should be able to. 1 second. Let me make you a co-host. I think then you should be Preetham, right?
Yeah.
You should now be able to, Preetham, you should now be able to see the share option on your screen.
Okay, yeah, I see that now. Okay, so all panelists, right? All panelists.
Yeah, so I'm now making you all a panelist so that you can share your screen and come on video if you want.
Okay. All right. Share screen. Screen. Okay. So if I select screen, that's my desktop, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, can you see my screen? Okay.
You can see it.
Right. So if you can see my screen, I'll start. So yesterday, the assignment that was given to us by Akash was that we create a, group, that is group underscore billing, and then we create a user. Uh, the name of the user. Hold on a second. I'm sorry, forgot the name of the user. Anyways, user bill. Yeah. So and then we give them the accesses as defined, and then
Preetham,
we
okay.
yeah
Mhm.
we should
We have
see
seen your
that.
email. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm just sharing my entire desktop. So and then we should see access denied. The assignment was to troubleshoot this and figure out what went wrong and how can we provide access. So we watched the video. I think between Mohit and myself, both of us agree that there was a little bit of a trick text on the video, not the video, sorry, the tutorial, which said how to enable access. So the first thing that, or the thing that we found as a trick was, it said that it is not advisable to, create an user through your root account. But I think what we figured out later was it will not work if I create the user from the root account. So what I did was I created an IAM account. Okay, and then I created these groups, the groups that were asked from that email, and then I created the user. I uh, then I attached. I created two new policies. Okay, I'm going to show you all these things. Okay, I created two new policies. One was for the billing full access, and the other one was billing view access only. And then assign those policies, or rather attach those policies to that group that I created. And then finally, from my root account, I enabled IAM access on my account. And now if I log in using the uh, billing user that I created. Okay, so user one bill. And if I sign in, and if I go to my billing dashboard, so instead of getting denied or no permissions, I'm getting the billing and cost management dashboard summary here. I think Shweta, Mohit, and myself, the three of us had shared the screenshots also in the WhatsApp group. So this is what I'm seeing now. Okay, I'm logged in with my user on one bill account. So that's it. That's in summary what we did. If does anybody want me to show how I went about it, or is that description enough?
Okay, this is Akash. First of all,
Yes.
congratulations, you have done it properly. Now, answer to your question is that we should not use root account. The answer is you should create an admin account. So create a group called group admin, give administrator full
Yes.
control, create a user, log in with that user, and then create further accounts. Okay, so
Right.
that was purposefully done so that you can understand, and we are definitely very much interested in your learning process. So would you like to share with us what extra you learn? So you learn one best practice, that if you have to create subsequent accounts, don't use admin account, don't use the root account. You create an admin account, and for that account you do it. Your root user account should be used very randomly. There are certain activities which root user can do, and this is one of the activity. Otherwise, you have to create an admin account and perform all the activities. Now, any other learnings regarding with policies? What do you learn in this journey? Because the time was very
Yeah.
short and you
So
have really done very well.
yeah, thank you. I think this is something that most of us have been able to figure out after some trial and error. But what I think I
Mm-hmm.
was stumbling at, and I had to take help from Mohit, to be honest, was when I could not figure out, why I should, or rather, when I could not figure out that I had to create an admin account, because in the tutorial, as I said, it was a bit tricky. It said it is not advisable to use the root account to create users. So I thought, okay, this is a classroom scenario. It's a training. So it's not like I shouldn't be too bothered about security. So I tried to do the shortcut, and I created the groups and the users through the root account. And that's where I failed. And that's when Mohit told me, no, that's the trick. You have to create an admin account first and then create the groups and the users. So yeah, that was a good learning. And also what I'm learning is the different flavors of security controls that are available in AWS, at least, because it is not very simple that I create a group, assign policies to it, create a user, and then I just assign that user to this group, and that's it, that's done. So here we had to do that additional step of logging in as a root and enable IAM access. So that's something that I have learned, that it's not always a plain vanilla that you create a group, create policies, marry the two together, and then create a user and assign that user to the group. It's not always that simple. So yeah, that was my learning.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Okay. I'll stop sharing my screen then.
I heard you saying that Shweta also joined you presenting. Shweta, you have some additional comments to add?
Yes, I do have. Can I share my screen now?
Okay.
Yeah, I'll not take much time. Maybe I'll.
No problem, Shweta. You can take your time. This is only for you guys only, right? So please take your time.
Can you see my screen now?
Yes, absolutely fine. Please go ahead.
Okay, what we did was, see, for billing, for accessing the billing information, so what I did was I tried for two things. One is like exactly I created a user with a policy, with assigning a policy, created administrator access. So using this account, I could use, I could see the billing information. So this is one thing. And I created another user, just a minute. Yeah, so user one bill. Here I created, I tagged the policy billing, but in the root account, I think here we have an option, my account. We have to enable an option that even IAM user should be, I'm not sure, just a minute. Yeah, here, somewhere it was there. Yes, so this has to be enabled, am I right? IAM user or role access billing information is activated.
Right, Shweta, that was the extra step that I learned.
Yes,
I
so
think you have to
this
click
was
on
done.
edit.
Okay, so I would like to show some other things as well. So these are like just for panelists, it is like, please don't mind, it's like you may be well aware of it, but some of the things which I learned, here we can just customize our, alias name. So here I'm giving, so
You are right. So this was account settings, which we will be
yes.
doing later.
Okay, so this is one thing which we can, okay, I think it exists already.
So
Yeah,
don't give
so
the
this,
test website. Give your account. It's a AWS account actually.
yeah, and I was just trying to give a random name so that it will not say that it is already existing. So that's it. So this becomes, normally we'll see 573 something normally. So instead it will become alias name. So if yeah, this is one learning which I did. And I created one more user. This user will be having a multi-factor authentication. So yeah, so just a minute. Let me show you. So I integrated the Google Authenticator with this. So everything is same except you have to use a Google Authentication as well. So sorry. So a code will come in Google Authenticator now. So that I have to type. So again, we can see the billing dashboard here. Since because I have for this particular user, it comes under the group billing, and for this particular group, I have tagged the policy billing only. So how it can be done is under security. If you select a user and if you go to security credentials, here there is an option called assign MFA device. So this has to be enabled first for the initial registration. You can use any. They have given a list of options available. So maybe I can just show here. Manage. If you give, they have a list of device. First time you have to register, and then later you can use it. And one more thing is like one more this one which I
Shweta, do
explored.
not click on manage.
Okay.
Don't click on manage because someone can capture
Mhm.
your QR code, and once I have a QR code, I can actually play with your user with multi-factor authentication. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
So this is a very important information. What Sweta has done is she set up a multi-factor authentication, right? You should set up a
Mhm.
multi-factor authentication on your root account, and the QR code which you are scanning, please don't share with it. There's a proper hack which is going, which actually tells you if I get the QR code, that is called a seeding value. Okay. So if I got a seeding value of a multi-factor authentication, I can figure it out what your multi-factor authentication might be.
Okay. Got it. I got it. Uh, okay.
Perfect.
So
And Sweta, it's absolutely fine what you have done. Over to you. Once again, please go ahead.
yeah. So one more explore. I mean, what I did was I was trying to create a user wherein the user can access only from Mumbai region. Okay. So this is what I have created. So again, this is the policies billing only. I think, yeah. So here I created a customized policy. So, I mean, the policy is the same, which I took from the billing policy, except I gave a condition saying that, just a minute. Yeah, so here the condition is given. This basic underlying policy is normal, this policy only. Just I added S3. This is actually basically S3 full access policy. So I just gave the condition that the region should be south.
You
So
are
this is what
absolutely right, Sweta. So what? Let me just tell what Sweta has done. Sweta has done that you can you have a S3 full control, but when you're coming through a region south one, then it will be there. So is it working? You have tested it fine?
Yes. No, no. This is where I faced a problem actually. So when like when I logged in using this user, I was able to when I see S3 bucket, it was showing us global. So since I gave the
Mhm.
full access policy, so I tried to create a bucket in let's say some North American region. So then it was not allowing me. So but I
What
could see
about
all the
the Mumbai region?
Mumbai region, it's allowing. It's
So
allowing only for Mumbai region. So
so
what I meant is,
actually,
hmm,
Sweta, let me,
yes,
and I'm sorry, I'm interrupting you in between.
no
Your
issues.
approach is that if I log in into the south one, Mumbai region, only Mumbai region should be allowed in my entire scenario, and people should not create anything in the other region. Or what is your actual goal here?
My actual goal was like if someone logins from some other region, North America or something, they should not be able to see my bucket itself.
Sweta, answer to your question is there's something called SCP policy, and
Okay.
just type in Google SCP policy and block all regions.
Okay. Okay. Fine. That
So
I'll check it out.
you have to create a SCP policy. If you scroll down on the left hand side, please. Yes, there's a SCP
Yes.
policy, Central Service Control Policies. So you have to create an organization, and then you have to create a service control policy. And in service control policy, you can define that only Mumbai is allowed in my environment. Other than that, nothing is allowed.
Okay.
That's the reason I stopped you in between, because I want to understand what is your end goal to achieve it.
Okay.
And
Got it.
so that's a wonderful presentation. Last time also
Thank
it
you.
was a wonderful presentation. You actually gone beyond the task, and you have actually taken initiative of learning it. Would you like to share your background, Shweta, so that people also gets motivated? Just
Yes,
one or two
I
minutes.
work. Yes, yes. So, I mean, I don't have much experience. I have hardly roughly 3.5 years experience in cybersecurity. So, I work for a private bank in India. I primarily work for GRC domain. Like I want to move into cloud security area where I can, I can try more hands-on. Policies and procedures as not my cup of tea actually. So which is a majority thing which comes in area of GRC domain. I'm recently I got certified as CISSP. So it's like that's what I think it summarize what in which
Very,
background
very
I.
nice summary.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you,
Absolutely, very nice
Shweta.
summary.
Appreciate
The
that. Yeah, appreciate that learning, and I hope the other teams got a chance to see the wonderful presentation by Team A. So considering the time,
Yes, yes.
I'm just giving the chance for Team B to take it on, but appreciate all the work done by Team A. Congratulations, guys. I think
Yeah.
you have done really
Yeah,
well.
sorry that I took some more time, I mean, some little bit of
Uh,
extra time. I'm very sorry for it. I have a couple of
That's
questions,
okay.
but I'll include in
Yeah,
the
hold
chat
on your
box.
questions for a later time, Sweta. Just
Yeah, yeah,
we
sure,
need to
sure.
cover everyone
Yes,
within the
that's
time.
right.
Then we'll come
That's
back to
right.
the questions. Yeah,
Thank you so much.
appreciate all the good work done by the team A. Wonderful.
Thank you.
Team B.
Yes.
Yes, just one moment. I'm sharing my screen. Uh, can you see it? All right.
Yeah.
So two consoles. This one is user bill. This is my admin console, and so I made an admin user first. I made an admin group, then made an admin user. I also tried to mask this because I thought it's better not to get out my 12-digit ID. Um, I have connected it with Microsoft Authenticator, and so I thought I would use YubiKey, but then it was a hassle to set up, so I left it at that. Mm, and just one moment. So user bill, I've just created one person, and I've given them complete read access. Full access, and so I was able to the primary exercise I was able to get done. After that, I was just messing around with. I was mainly messing around in the IAM console. And I was trying to see what things I can set in the free zone. And if, in Team A, you mentioned that SCP policies, but when I went there, it said that I need to be a part of an organization to be able to set anything over there. Uh, and that's it. I don't have anything much different from what Team A has already shown.
Uh, anything extra you want to share? What you learned apart from what Team A has shared with us, Apurv?
Yes, I did. I'd begun on this thing slightly before you had shared the hints. So I set up everything, and then I had forgotten to enable IAM access from the main console. And even though all my policies were working, I was struggling with trying to get it to work. And then at the very end, I realized that I have not done the most basic step to do. So better to go step by step than do everything at once and then try to figure out what went wrong.
Perfectly, very fine, Apurv. So thank you so much. Anyone from team B also want to share the screen, or we can move towards stream C, please?
Team B, anybody else want to share anything?
I think we can move on with Team C, Satya and Akash.
Yeah, Team B, I think thank you for that. I know that that's the reason we wanted to do the reverse, start with D, but it didn't work out. But anyway, any other learnings anybody in the Team B have, they can share right now before we move on to Team B, Team C. Okay, if none, then move on to the Team C, please.
Hi, I'll present on behalf of Team C. So let me just share my screen. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So we are Team C. We are a group of 7. We have Anandi, Apurva, Harini, myself, Gangadhar, Parul, Saman, and Shruti. So, one second, yeah. So our approach this time about going on with this assignment was similar to what we did earlier as well. So we individually attempted the assignment, and as in enabling the billing, enabling a user to see the billing dashboard. And at the end of the day, we came together and we discussed what were the steps we took, what issues did we face, and what are our overall learnings, and also what do we want to know more about whole IAM and this. So again, we had 2 sets of people where most of us referred to the guide videos and then went on with that. So on with respect to that set of people, we didn't have any issues creating the users or the groups. And when we got the access denied error on the billing dashboard, when we tried from another user account, we see so most of us are able to troubleshoot it as well without further many issues. Even some of us even found the links attached to the error, access denied error provided by AWS very helpful to troubleshoot it. And after we updated the IAM access from the root user account, we were able to you go to the other user account and see the billing dashboard. And for those of us who didn't refer to the videos, again, there were no issues creating the users or groups. Actually, I had like a misstep of trying to create the new users through the add user option on the groups page. So I didn't go to the users page first, create the user. And so that was a small misstep I just had. And later, by looking at the videos, I realized I had to like create it first. So learnings overall has been, how do we like create a new group? How can we add a group policy? How do we create new user accounts and add them to the group? And overall, we got like a idea of what identity access management is. And as you can see, our explorations, it has been on different AWS policies like the read-only, full access, and the billing policy. Most of us actually try to experiment with like the reset password. What is the flow of the user sign in when you have the reset password, and also like the auto-generated password options enabled. And some of us tried like the bucket level policies, like adding the ad hoc policy in specific, and even the policy simulator. So this actually I explored this because I first thought like the billing thing was related to a additional policy adding thing, and not like the updating IAM access account. So would you want me to like share the screen on this on the policy simulator?
Yes, please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I think I have to stop Sharon? Okay. Yeah. So when you simulate the AWS billing policy, we are able to see what kind of actions are like allowed and denied. So over here it says like view billing, view payment options, usage, everything is allowed, and you're not able to view the account and modify the account. So that is denied. So from here, I kind of understood that there was not something to do with the policy level. So which is why like the troubleshooting links were helpful. And this was also helpful to like simulate other, S3 policies as well. So to just see what kind of, I think this is a lot. Okay. But yeah. Oh. Okay, sorry, yeah. So this was like a useful way to see what kind of actions are allowed and denied in a straightforward way. So let me go back to the presentation. Can you see my slide?
I'm sorry, I have a question,
Yeah.
Harini, if
Yeah.
you don't mind. Is this a policy simulator or is this a policy logs? Like,
Oh,
I
so
didn't get it. Are these the logs?
So actually, like if you go, this is like the group created, and if you go to the policies attached, you have this option called simulate policy. So over here, you can kind of select what is the policy you want to look about. This is not. I don't think this is something to do with the account. This is more like what actions you are allowed under the policy. I may be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong.
No, you're absolutely right. So what Policy Simulator does is that it helps you to visualize what will be the actual permission. So if you have given denied, see if it's denied, right? It's
Yeah.
allowed, denied, allowed. So Policy Simulator will help you to understand fine grain steps, what is actually denied and what is actually allowed. So this
Right.
is required when a person, when you create your own customized policy and attach the policy, and people say that okay, your policy has been attached, but I'm not getting the desired result.
Yeah. Okay.
So very good learning
Gosh,
and very good sharing.
Yeah. One sec.
thank you, Akash. Thank you, Harini.
Yeah.
Thank you for clearing that. Thank you.
So we've attached a few screenshots of our flow. So here you can see that we have created this group and we've attached the billing policy. And we've also added the user. So there's a user one bill. So once we add the user to the group, and when you go in through the user one bill account, you see that they see this error, right? You don't have permissions to view this. So then we went back to the root user and chose this activate IAM access option to update it. And then going back to the user one bill account, we see that we're able to see the billing dashboard. So our learning as a group from Team A's presentation was that we all actually try use the root user accounts for our operations, like adding user and creating the groups, etc. But we from here we learned that we have to use, it's a better practice to use the IAM user account for all these operations. And yeah, so these are things we want to like understand better. So what is actually like the difference in scope between a root user, an IAM user, and the accounts they root user creates? And so that is one thing. And how do we like limit the resources which can be, so like when we do like the read only S3 read only policy, the user is able to see all the buckets. So from the group level, is there a way that we say that that those users should be allowed to see, say, buckets A and B but not C, like not even like see it in the list? So how is there a way to do that? How can we do that? And there's also this permissions boundary is not set clause which comes in. So how do we for what purpose do we use this permissions boundary? Some things about that we'd like to learn. And also so one thing is when you go into a user account, unless you try to do the operation until you reach the final step, we are not aware whether that user account be able to do it or not. For example, even if the read-only access is given to an account, when they try to create a bucket, they can do all the steps, and only when they click on the final create bucket, they'll get the access denied. So from a user account perspective, can I know what all permissions has the administrator given to me? So yeah, these are some things we'd like to learn, and I guess that's it. Thanks.
Harni, that's a very nice observation. And thank you so much for such a very good presentation. Your PPT skills, your explanation skills are really very good. And
Credit
that
goes to our team.
no, absolutely. I am, when I'm addressing you, I'm addressing the entire team.
Yep.
So good work done. And what we are going to do is that we will be coming back to you after Group D, and I will answer each and every questions.
Yep.
Correct?
Sure.
So in that case, let's move towards Group D, please, and then we'll start the question answer sessions.
Meanwhile, can I ask one question till the time they prepare? Team D.
Just hold on
yes,
for a moment, please. Let's finish the demos.
Sure, sure.
The practice sessions first, then we'll come to questions. Yeah.
Sure, no worries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Prasanna from DMD. I mean, probably I can present, but then you want others to also join. If anybody wants to present, please go ahead. Because last time when I did that, please go ahead and present. If not, I can take.
Go ahead, Prasanna.
Okay, looks like no takers. So I have not investigated or gone into details like how Shweta and Team C have done. I have only created the group and created the test files and all, and I've tried doing that from an access standpoint. It was giving access denial, and then I changed the settings. I thoroughly followed the video, and I was able to finish that creating of the file with the required accesses. I only had a question on to how do we look at this from a realistic scenario, especially when we have how do we use it in our real-time scenario is what I had a question on, because this basically creating the files. What are the users if we have multiple users in an organization which is quite bigger, like when I work? How does this work is what I had as a question. Otherwise, I'm good. It's a great way to learn this new thing.
Good, thank you, Prasanna. So the question, I think Akash will be able to take that. Then we'll start from there and go ahead with the question and answers. Unless anybody else in Team D want to present. No takers. Okay, back to you, Akash, to answer the question by Prasanna, and then we'll follow up with others. Akash, can you hear us? Akash? Can you repeat the question again, Prasanna? I'll try to attempt. Prasanna?
Yes, Satya.
Yeah.
I can hear
Can
you.
You can hear me, right? So can you repeat your question again?
Yeah, so my question is, when it comes to realistic scenarios or basically real-time basis, how do we implement this security aspects, especially in a banking kind of an organization? Let's say we're using cloud as a solution. How does this work? Do we, would this be actually outsourced to a cloud firm, or how does that work? Is what I wanted to understand, because probably it's a very simple question, but my lack of understanding.
It's not a simple question. It is the question today. I'll explain you how it works, right? Whether it is banking or healthcare, which are the sectors who are very regulatory oriented, right? So are a lot of times worried whether to use cloud or not cloud, etc. But we see a lot of movement towards the cloud. There are banks who are using cloud completely for their workloads and their operations as well as their websites, etc. Right? Coming to access management, so you have seen some of the examples given by some of the groups, right? So you could actually very well do almost everything what you do in on-prem, right? So what do you do in IAM in on-prem? You require single sign-on. For example, you want to access 100 different applications with same username password. You don't want to change or create a different account for different web applications. Then you require single sign-on. That is possible. And second, you require federation with third-party applications. That is possible. And you require multi-factor authentication when needed. That is possible. And then you require, as the way we were just discussing, a group-based access, role-based access, and user-based access. All these are possible with policies, right? So these, all the features, whatever we are speaking about access management, all the way from identity management. The part what we mentioned is only about identity right now and access management, and also governance piece. Governance is like the IDs required to be reviewed on a periodic basis. Whether the IDs are used, not used, what are the risks now? How do we do the recertification? That's the governance piece, right? So the entire aspects of identity management, access management, authorization, and also the governance, all these areas are actually offered as a service, identity management as a service on cloud right now. It's available as a model, right? Not just that, there are products available who gives you a support for multi-cloud. For example, you have some workloads on Azure, some workloads on AWS, some are sitting in on-prem, right? Because of different reasons, right? So if you have IDs in 3 different areas, how do you actually do a consolidated identity access management from one single place? So that is also possible, right? I don't want to call out what products does that, but there are products available who does that multi-cloud support for identities across multiple platforms as well. Yeah. So coming to the concern whether to use cloud, not use cloud, I think the concern majorly is about losing control, right? Have sharing the control, or rather sharing the control. So I think that's something as a basic principle of cloud, which is shared responsibility. So you are actually sharing responsibility, sharing activities with others. So that is one thing you need to be cautious on, understand the risk, and have the clarity of who is going to manage on what, and then own it completely and be accountable for it, right? So that's all about the high level aspects of cloud identity. Technically speaking, to me, uh, with the given what we can say size, right? You can do more on cloud than on-prem, right? You can actually add more security on cloud than on-prem, considering the what we can say the cost of scale, right? So when you are actually doing it scale, you can do much better. So that's the idea. However, there are always pitfalls like any other area. So there are risks involved which need to be cautiously reviewed and calculated and plan for that gaps. So that's the overall what you can say high level idea of how do you use identity on cloud. answers your question, Prasanna?
Yeah, thank you so much, Satya. It was very detailed. In fact, I was noting down points. Thank you so much. Wonderful explanation.
Yep, thank you. Thanks for that question. Any other questions? Now I think we go on for now Q&A, considering all the presentations are over. Before going there, I congratulate each one of you for a great job done. Everyone, I think it's what we can say, what we can say, well collaborated among this COVID scenarios. Even though we are virtual, you are connected and we are working together and bringing something together. That's really wonderful to see. I think I'm very confident that you learned something in this session, and we have more to go in session 3. But I'm very happy with the way you guys are evolving compared to session 1 to today. I see more collaboration. I'm seeing by session 3, I think you will be working together. Maybe jumping into asking for okay, let's go for a separate private chat and start networking. So another aspect is networking. Just network, then you learn more, right? Not just learning by sharing, but also learning by just being associated. Okay, so with that, I'll give back to you for any further questions.
May I?
Yeah, Priya, go on, Shweta.
Yeah, so we have created IAM users, so many IAM users. So where can we see the logs of this user activity logs? Under root users, there should be some option. So I was just checking with some option called Access Analyzer. So is that the log section?
Okay, answer to your question. Access Analyzer helps you to identify the resource which are being shared. So for example, if you have a S3 bucket, in that case, in the S3 bucket, if you're sharing your S3 bucket to another account or any other resource, Access Analyzer will help you and tell you that this is your resource which has been shared and this is the permission which you have given. So let's come towards the log part. The answer is on the left hand side below Access Analyzer, you have a credential report. And if you want to share your screen, please do that. Otherwise, you can check below Access Analyzer. There's a credential report. You download the credential report. You will get to know who logged in at what time. Credential report.
Yeah, this one, right?
Yes. Download report and open it. Please do not open it right now because people will know who is logging in your environment.
Yeah,
So,
sure. I'll check offline.
Perfect. And the purpose was to let other people also know where the credential report is. And now move towards the next question, please.
Here, I have one more question.
So I think just hold on before we go on to the next question.
Sure.
Asking about the access trail, right? So that will be in the CloudTrail, correct?
CloudTrail is all an API logging, basically, whatever who logged in. But this is the credential reports, which gives you a fine screenshot of what is happening. And CloudTrail is all the API logs which you're doing it. If you're creating a user, if you're creating a user, your user logging in, you are creating even a S3 bucket also that logs into the CloudTrail. So if you need to know your specific user, when did he logged in, credential report is the right place. Otherwise, CloudTrail is an ocean. You have everything logged there. If you run a command also, that is an API called CloudTrail capture that also. Except the put events on the S3 bucket, it captures everything and it has a capability of capturing that also. But you have to enable extra features on that.
Yep. Okay, go on. Back to you, Shweta. Sorry.
Yeah, I have one more question. So maybe I'll stop after that because I'm asking so many questions. So
it's good. It's good for others also. It's okay. Keep asking questions.
So earlier I asked about restricting access to a particular region. So you told we can do through service control policies. Like team B said, it's like when I'm clicking it, you have to be associated with some organization. That's fine.
Correct.
Yeah. So maybe when we get a paid account, like to particular organization.
No. you can create an organization free of cost. You can create service control policy free of cost. So you have to just
Okay.
go to organization and create an organization, and you will see your account, and then you will associate the service control policy. You can assign the policy directly to your account, or you can create an organizational unit, move your account into the organization unit and assign the policy. Organizational unit is just a folder, basically, you can say that, where you keep your files. Here in organization unit, you're creating organization unit and you're moving your account. So in practical case, production account will go to another production on another organizational unit, development will go to another. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I just want to know about this endpoints as well. So is it something like through this, can we control the access to a particular region? What is it
See,
exactly?
this endpoint is very different. This is called STS endpoints. STS is to provide the token, basically. So what happens is that when you do a federation, or when you do any other thing, in that scenario, a token is given to you, right? And that
Yeah.
token is going to be presented to the AWS IAM component, and in exchange of that token, it will give you a permission to log in. So STS is totally different. Its name is session tokens from STS endpoints, and AWS has global endpoint which ends at where you type sts.amazon.aws.com. Similarly, STS endpoints are being created when you have coming from a different region also. So it's totally different concepts. Now, if you want to try this of blocking of the accounts, you have to go to your account name, Sweta2021, drop down, go to my accounts. But trust me, if you want to block the region, the best way is SCP policies. And if you
No,
scroll,
I'm just seeing, like different options. That's it.
correct, you can go ahead. I will explain you that. So here is the AWS regions, basically. So you have to enable it. Scroll down further, please. This is
Okay.
disabled. If you click on, these are the enabled by default. This cannot be. So these are the Middle East, Bahrain, town, Cape Town, all those things. But if you want to block the region and you want to
Mhm.
create a scenario, guys, please pay attention. This is very important. So the requirement of Sweta is that if you log in into the Mumbai, you will be able to do everything. But if you log in into any other region, you will be blocked. It's a it's it's only possible through SCP policies,
Okay. Yeah, got
because
it.
you don't have any disabled by default here.
Okay. So this session tokens are like, it's like a challenge response mechanism. So,
No. It's completely different. So what
okay.
happened is that you get authenticated, and there's a you can actually integrate your IAM component with Google. You can
Okay.
integrate with the Facebook. You can integrate with Active Directory on premises. This is a very wide subject to be discussed about, but just a small context. Once you get authenticated, actually, then you with that. So in that case, username and password is not handled by AWS, right? The username and password is handled by identity provider. After the authentication, you make a call, allow assume role with SAML. You provide that your authentication, your SAML tokens, and based on that, the tokens get generated by STS, and you give that token to AWS, and AWS gives you a temporary window to log in for a certain period of time.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Okay, so you can just simply type how AWS STS works. It will explain you everything. Just in Google,
Okay. Yeah.
type how
Yeah.
AWS STS work.
Okay. Yeah. I'll check
Okay,
that. Thank you, Akash.
yeah, but very complicated and very interesting topic.
Okay. I'll check that. I
Yeah,
think that's it. My question. I think I have to give a chance to others. Yeah.
thank you so much, Shweta, and please stop the sharing. Group
The question.
A, anyone else? Otherwise, we'll move to group B.
Yeah, one question like I had, like as Team C said that they did everything, created all those groups using their root account itself, right? But I don't know why me and Preetham, we both discussed on the WhatsApp group that we weren't able to do so. So Akash, is it possible to do all those steps through the root account, or we can
Yes,
do
it
it
is
only
pretty well
through the IAM?
possible. No,
Yeah,
your root account is very, very powerful. You can do
Okay.
anything with your root account. The purpose of that article is that if you see my solution, I have done everything with the root account. Okay.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
logged
Yeah.
in with the root account. I created a user called user bill and everything. But if you
Okay.
ask me, is that the best practice? Answer is no. You should create a separate admin account and perform your daily activity. Root
Okay.
user account is always there with it. So for example, let's take a scenario. If you're working in a bank or you're working in a pharmacy, right? And you want to outsource your IAM, identity and access management, to a company called TCS or Tech Mahindra, right? In that case, what you will do, you will create an admin account for them, monitor it. You will never share your root account with them.
Makes sense.
So that's the answer to your question, and that is why I've given that article. Because if you search on the internet is full of ocean, right? You might
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
landing on that. And if you see the URL, it starts with docs.amazonaws.com, right? So the purpose is any article which is pointing towards docs.aws.amazon.com is the authentic article by Amazon itself.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. I think
Correct?
probably we both just missed that IAM update property from the my account section. Maybe that's the reason we weren't able to do so. We both got stuck at that point, and then we fumbled back to it and enabled that.
Yeah,
After then, we follow the general practice of creating IAM account and then those
correct.
policies.
Absolutely. The purpose of this activity was to let you know that even there are certain activities, if you give a proper permission, it will not work. That time root comes into the picture with a superpower and say that, okay, I am a Superman, I will help you. So there's a list of activities which are available, which only root can do. Okay.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. Anyone else from group A? Otherwise, we'll move to
Yeah,
group B.
Akash, this is Preetham from Group A. I just wanted to know, I mean, this was part of the discussions that happened. You said that in case I want to assign service control policies, I can create an organization and that is available in my free account. But could you please explain like where exactly do I need to go to create that organization?
Simple, sir. You just it's very simple. You go to services search box like you're typing S3, type organization, click on
Okay.
it and create organization, done. And then you
Oh,
have to have an option on the top, create service control policies and link. Then you have an option to attach the policies.
okay. Fine. Got it. Thank you.
No problem. So anyone else? I hope we should move to group B in that case. Group B, it's your turn. Okay, so no questions from group B. That means group B is a good observer and they are observing everyone and the questions are getting answered. Very nice. So let's move towards group C in that case. Is it my internet is disconnected or I'm audible?
You're audible.
No, you're audible, Akash.
Oh,
So you
I thought no one is asking a question, so it means I am disconnected. No problem.
I understood very well. So no questions, it seems. Team C?
Yeah. So I think this is just a follow-up with like the root user, IAM user question. So like typically in an organization, like who would have like the root user control and who has like the IAM user control? So could you just like explain like the scope of these users?
Akash, you're answering?
Okay. Yes. So the point here is when you create a root user, you never share your root user passwords and everything. You create organizations and every account has a root user, right? So if you do join the account, you can have multiple accounts reporting to the same organization unit. So in that case, what you can do is that you can block the root user access also. That's a best practice. so that no one logs in. If it logs in, it cannot do anything. The master account, where you create an organization, that becomes a master account. There you cannot block the root user access. So you protect the password of that and control all the things using SCP policy, that you are denied to delete KMS, you are denied to stop CloudTrail, which bad person wants to stop it, and you denied to log in into any other region, you're denied to use the root user. This is what you do.
So,
So
sorry to like interrupt you, but master user is something like totally different from root user, is it? Is it like another category?
no. So that's a very good question, because I also got confused. So currently your account, okay? In your account, you enable organization, correct?
Okay.
Your root user becomes a master user, correct?
Oh, okay.
Now you can, now using organization, you can create subsequent accounts. You can create more accounts also, and you can invite Satya also to join your organization. At that time, Satya will have a root user, but that root user is valid for that Satya account, right? And your root user, which becomes a master account, since I join your organization, so organization, and in that case, you can control my activity. You can even deny my root user account to perform any activity. Correct?
Okay. Okay. So as in you can add users which are tied to like different account IDs, not necessarily the root users one.
So when it comes to user management, there is another component. If you want to do centrally, you can use a component called AWS SSO, single sign-on. And if you use single sign-on, and if my account is added to your organization unit, in that case, you will become my boss, okay? And you can also say that once you join the organization, I cannot leave the organization. After that, using SSO, you can actually assign permission to my account also, that this person XYZ will be an admin to Akash Gupta's account.
Okay.
So be very careful when you join any organization, okay?
Sure. Yeah, and I think like one more is like, as a user account, can I like see what permissions like the admin has given me?
Very nice question. So your question here is user name is user one bill
Right.
has been given to user one bill, correct?
I
Okay.
think
So
there's
let
some
me
Can you
audio
summarize
issue.
repeat,
this.
Akash?
Could you?
Akash,
Yeah.
can
I
you
created
repeat?
a user and that
Akash, can you repeat again? Your voice gone down. I'm sorry.
ah, okay. Yes, I am here. So what Harni is saying is that I created a user, and that user wants to see the policy which has been assigned to that user, correct?
Right. Yeah.
Now, answer to your question is that in that case, you have to give a permission. You have to create a special policy called IAM policy, which actually allows that user to see its properties rather than any other person properties. So when this user log in, he can go to IAM and click on his account and see what is the permission assigned to him. Correct?
Okay. Okay.
But he cannot click on any other user. If he tries to do that, he'll get access denied.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think that
I'm
answers
sorry.
my question. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry for the small voice loss because internet connectivity. My internet is also saying work from home. He also wants to take rest. Sorry for that, actually.
No issues.
Okay, so I think all questions are get answered. Anyone else has any questions? Please go ahead.
Yeah, Akash, I do have one question.
Please, sir.
Yeah, well, I mean, as you said, we need to create an admin user. So that is a good practice. It's a good practice. So we have created one admin user. So
Gangadharan, I'm sorry I'm interrupting you in between. I am not able to hear you. Is it same for everyone or it's only me?
Yeah, we cannot hear
Yeah.
you. Gangadhar, please
Gangadharan, let's
come
do
to.
one thing. Can you type your question in the question answer and I will read it from out there and then I will explain that.
is it now audible?
It is little bit, but again, it is breaking. So you put your question in the question answers and then I will answer that. I don't want to miss your question actually. Gangadharan, are you there?
Yes, I was there. I'm going to type the question.
Thank
Go
you so
ahead and
much.
ask. Your voice is okay.
Okay.
Is it now okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Like my question is like, so as you said, we need to create an activity.
I'm sorry, Gangadharan, cannot hear you. So please type the question. Sorry for that. I cannot hear it.
Yeah. Okay. Fine.
Thank you. In the meantime, Gangadharan is typing a question. Anyone else who wants to go with it?
Yeah. Hi, Akash.
Yeah, Saman, I can hear you.
Yeah.
Please go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to ask, like we did this solution as we just went on to the root user, and from the My account, we have just clicked on activate IAM access. Is that not the correct process that the assignment needed to be done, or we had to tweak the solution in a different way?
No. That's the correct process. What we are trying to say is that absolutely that is the only correct process. But what we are trying to say that if you are creating any user account called user one bill, in that case, before you create any user account, you create a separate admin account, and all the admin related activity should be done using that admin account. Correct?
Yeah, we did it with the root user though, but yeah, got the point of admin user now. Yeah.
Correct. But can admin activate that checkbox? Answer is no. If you want to try, uncheck that checkbox, create your admin account and try to access the billing. Even the administrator cannot do it. Only the root user has a power to uncheck that. Uncheck full control. He can do it. He can look into the billing. Similarly, billing will be.
Sorry, Akash, I missed you in between. Is that my audio?
Okay, no problem. No problem. I will repeat that. So what is
Yeah.
the correct way is that you create an admin
Akash, you're breaking up.
Get subsequent
No,
accounts.
Akash, you were breaking up. I don't think they would have heard you.
Yeah, Akash, your voice is breaking up. Yeah.
Okay, so let me join through my mobile also. Give me 1 minute. I don't want to miss your question. So just in the meantime, Gangadharan has also posted the question. So let me put myself completely on mute and then go to the mobile.
Okay.
Hello. Yeah, Akash, I have one more question. Like you said,
Hold on, Shweta. Let
no,
Akash
okay,
come back.
it's
I'm just give me 1 minute here, please. I am coming back. Just give me 1 minute.
Okay, those I think while Akash come back, just I want to give you one update. So 'cause some of the members are interested to be members than just webinar participants. Go ahead and do that. What we are going to do is whether you decided in the session 3 or session 4 to become a member. It's important that you are part of one of the webinar series and you actually experienced it and wanted to become a member. Then your fees for webinar will be refunded. We are doing for some of those who have done that today. So in case you choose to be a member, go ahead and become a member. Then once we see that, just send a note to us. Then we'll refund the webinar payments what you made through the webinar registration. So that's one update for you. So any questions there, you write to support@CSABangaloreChapter.com.
Yeah, I have posted 2 questions on my side.
Gangadhar, yeah, just hold on. Akash is just went down. So some problem with the technical problem with his mic.
I can log it right now, so can you please provide me permission?
It's actually echoing. You may need to stop the other audio device in your room, Akash. Con, can you hear us? Hello. Akash, can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you actually promote me? I joined with my mobile. I cannot speak it from the mobile actually. Janaki has to give me the permission.
No, we did that. I just did now, right now.
Yeah,
Go
it's
ahead.
done, Akash.
We were both, yeah, both the names are now.
I think.
Try speaking now, Akash. Let's check.
I can speak right now. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. So let's take the questions, please. So there was a question which I was giving the answer. And
Turn off the other device, Akash. It's echoing. Yeah.
okay, let me take care of that. Perfect. Now you will not hear any echo. Correct?
Yeah, perfect.
I'm sorry for the confusion. Now, my answer to the question here is that you should create an admin account. With the admin account, you should do administration job. Don't do the administration job with the admin account. Root user has certain powers like billing. If you disable the billing, your admin also cannot access the billing until unless root user can enable it. Okay?
Yeah, I'll just try it once, Akash, with the admin account and play around with that option of IAM access and see what happens next. So I'll do that for sure.
Yes. So please check that box and then log in with the admin and see if billing can be accessed or not. Answer is he cannot access the billing. Root user has to do that. Similarly, there are other activities which only root user has to do that. So you can search in the Google, typing what are the permissions for which we need root users access. Okay.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you.
Please go ahead. Anyone else has having any questions?
Yeah, I do have a question. So Akash, when you say admin account, what do you mean actually? Like, see, I have created an account with the policies administrator access. Do you mean
Yes.
that's right?
Absolutely
Okay.
right.
So I am for the
Absolutely.
particular user, I am tagging it to a group admin with the policies only administrator access. I'm not giving billing. Okay.
Absolutely.
So yes. So if I log in with a particular users, I'm able to see the billing dashboard.
Because your root user has unchecked that box, right? You check that box again with the root user and try to do that. It will not work.
Okay, maybe I think I'm a bit confused. Maybe I'll try it out and then I'll just ask you offline.
Very simple thing. You log in with a root user, go to my accounts and check that box again. That IAM delegation is stopped. Okay. Now after that, log in with your admin account and see whether it is working or not.
No, my point is, so administrator access policy will give access to everything, including billing module. If we need not explicitly mention billing policy. Am I right?
You're right. And that is the purpose of this exercise, to explain you that even if you have given the full policy, the root is a superpower that actually can control certain things which policy cannot control.
Okay, now my confusion is over. It's fine. Yeah,
and that is the purpose of the exercise. So you have to do that exercise extra from your side. Check that box and log in with the admin account and see he has a full control, but still he cannot look into the billing.
Okay. No, I mean, last question, my understanding was, like I understood in a wrong way. That's why I asked the question again. It's fine.
That's okay,
Yeah.
no problem. Please feel free to ask questions.
Yeah, no issue.
Unless you are clear, we will be helping you to answer each and every questions.
Yeah, Akash, I have posted 3 questions from my side.
So what is the question actually?
I'll come from my third question. So actually, so I have created one user which is having the read-only access, and other user is having only, having full access. So I have checked the box for reset password for one user. I have not done for another user. So where I have given the same password which is having the user one. So I have given the same password to the user two, which is having for the user one. So that the root user is accepting the same passwords for different users. So why it is happening?
So can you repeat the question? You're saying that the root user is accepting the same password
for different users.
See, I tell you one simple thing. There's a password policy which you define it, right? And you can give same password to 2 different users also, right? As long as your password policy is met. Now, how to apply a password policy? The answer is pretty simple. You go to the IAM, there is a section called password policies. Now, root user is not controlled by that password policy. Root user is controlled by a separate password policy, which actually, when you create a root user account, you type a password at that time. When you create a root user account, at the time you type the password, AWS told you that 8-character password and all those things, right? So root user is not controlled by the password policy which you set it. It is defined by a AWS point of view. And both the users, you can have 7 users in your account, n number of users having same password, and you can check that box at any point of time. You can go and reset the password, again check the box, change your password. It will ask the user to change the password. Did I answer your question?
Yes. I got your point, and I do have another question. So, do admin have any access of accessing the logs, or else able to
Sir,
see the
admin
password?
has a full control. Admin can do anything. The things which admin cannot do is like billing. There are certain other activities which admin cannot do, and where root account comes into the picture. So if you add me, correct. If you add me a root admin, I can create a bucket. I can delete your bucket. I can create virtual machines. I can create a large amount of virtual machines, and that is why it is recommended that Sweta has shown one wonderful thing, MFA. You should always enable MFA on your admin account. You should enable MFA on your root account. Both should be an admin one, MFA one.
Yeah, okay. So here my question is if the admin user is a insider, then what would be the perspective?
So if it is an insider, you have to actually enable a multi-factor authentication, and you have to actually see admin is something which is a superpower, right? So you will not give admin to everyone, right? You will give to selected people, right? Rather than you will be giving based on the list privilege. The list privilege is that, okay, what you want to do? You want to do S3 read only, I will give you S3 read only. You want to create virtual machines, I will give you EC2 permissions. And if certain policies are not there, you will create your own policies. Did I understand your question, or is that something else you are expecting?
No. If admin is the insider, so he can delete the logs himself, right? So if we have done anything wrong, if we
answer to your question, which I have already given, is that admin cannot delete the log if you define an SCP policy as a root user. Okay, define the SCP policy that no one can delete the logs.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Perfect. So that is why the organization comes into the picture. If you have an admin user in each and every account, And that's a wonderful question. And that admin user wants to delete the logs. He cannot, because from a central account, that is a master account, you have applied the policy that these things cannot be deleted. Keys cannot be deleted. Logs cannot be deleted. Okay. Anyone more questions, please?
Yeah, Akash, one question. So the first video that was posted in the email that for in which we made the whole uh, bucket public. You remember the first video in which you have edited the JSON file for making the bucket public,
Correct.
right? So one thing, if we have turned off or disabled all the blocks on the block public access, why did we explicitly had to mention the bucket policy to make the bucket public for
Very nice question. The point is pretty simple. AWS wants to make sure that you are doing it purposefully, right? All those 4 settings is just like a precaution. Okay. Now, when you come to your building, there's a security guard, right? No, security guard will ask, type your name, your phone number, which flat you want to go, correct? Then the second step is that he will ask you to make a call, or he will make a call, second confirmation, right? That is what it is. So first 4 permissions like security guard. He's asking you that you want to do it. Please uncheck these boxes. Now, after that, apply a bucket policy to make the entire bucket public, because that is a very dangerous thing. If you make anything public, anyone can come to your bucket and download it. Okay.
So just to add to what Akash explained, Mohit. So S3 bucket is actually, consider that as a web page, right? It's almost similar to a static web page, because every bucket you create, you get a unique record, the URL actually. So which is actually accessible, correct? So which makes it more and more vulnerable, because if every bucket you create become public, so you require that many restrictions, right? It's actually already on the cloud and available to everyone, right? That's the reason that additional restrictions has been added. There are more restrictions added for buckets than, S3 buckets than others, because of this, reliable accessibility and the URL-based linking for buckets. That's the key reason, actually.
Thank you so much, Satya, for that.
It is not like a shared folder. It's not just like a shared folder where you are loading your storages, but when you make it public, that unique record, whatever is there, is accessible. If somebody is searching for anything inside your folder, they can search it from Google or anywhere, because it is on the internet. Make sense?
Yeah, that makes sense. Alrighty. It's just kind of, I would say, the multi-factor policy enablement, or just policy implementation of the at the bucket level.
Yeah, multi-layer security, you can understand. The reason there is a lot of fuss on S3. I think you should read more on. For those people who are interested, I think I recommend you to study about S3 buckets and weaknesses around it. Irrespective, even though these many controls exist, still there are a lot of leakages on S3 buckets, right? So it's important you understand all the concerns. One more thing I just want to explain. I know we are trying to teach as much as we can, and you are trying to learn as much as you can. Understand that each of this cloud platform is ocean by itself, right? We will not be able to cover every aspect in 1 hour time, and you will not be able to learn everything in 1 hour. So idea here is to give you a kind of as yesterday we were discussing, it's like ignite a fire so that you learn and learn more into this cloud, and then learn more into the cloud security aspect. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you for.
Thank you. Any other questions, anybody? I know we crossed by 25 minutes. Okay. If no questions, in that case, once again, I congratulate you for this successful journey so far. I'm confident that you learned a lot in these 2 sessions, and look forward to have you in session 3 and 4. We are going to go do more interesting things in future. If any of you want to become a member, be aware that your webinar payment will be returned. So you can choose to be as much as I want to part after this 4 sessions. I would want to have you with us throughout the journey so that we continue with you for more sessions in the similar way. And one more aspect which we want to know is feedback. Just in case you have something, some issue you find or some challenge you have, just let us know. Otherwise, we'll think everything is going smooth, right? And also, in case you believe this is helping, do encourage this team. This team is actually all are working voluntary. Everybody have their full-time job. They're doing is for non-profit with no money. So we are just interested to build this community. That's why we are forming it. So any encouragement you do, either on social media or through your friends or anything, be really helping this community so that we do more to build a secure community. So I appreciate your encouragement on both sides, positive as well as negative. Positive so that we get more energy, negative so that we improve ourselves. Yeah. Appreciate your time today. Have a happy
Once again,
weekend.
Satya, before you call off the meeting and give so just wanted to request you all kindly go to the menti.com and use the code 1643063. I'm pasting it in the chat and provide your feedback. Good, bad, ugly, anything works with us because we're here to improve.
Yeah, Jagriti, that's a good idea. Pasting in the chat so that. So you just have to take 2 minutes of time. And I know it's already late. So please take your 2 minutes of time. And that is very important for Jagriti. She's working very hard. And
No, it's not just
based
for
on
Jagriti, I think everybody.
correct,
so the feedback
but
is everybody. So please go on.
yes, absolutely. And it will help us to improve further.
Yeah.
In the meantime, anyone has any last questions, please feel free to let us know.
This is about the membership. So I just signed up. Is it going to take some time for the account to get activated, or how do I log into my account? That's the question.
So membership pages we are making it ready right now. Only thing what you are getting as a member is webinar series, which you will get links. You have the links. You will be getting it, Preetham. So there are other activities we are planning for members, which you will be getting a member username, password, and then member resources. You will be getting it soon. That is something in the pipeline because we are focusing more on webinar today or this month. So you will get the credentials. You have username, password when you are registering. Keep it with you. With that username, password, you will be accessing a membership page where member resources will be made available to you.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep. Yeah, I should have told this. Thank you
Yeah, no
for asking that question.
No problem.
So Preetham, in case you have registered today, then your webinar payment would be refunded to you. Yeah, soon. Thanks.
And
certificates, I think somebody is asking a question on certificate. So we have done the certificates. We will be sending it to you today, post this call for the session 1. For session 2, we will be sending it soon.
Still, if you are facing any problem with the registration, which Satya told and explained very beautifully, you have our support ID. You can drop us an email saying that, okay, this is the challenge with a screenshot, and we will help you out.
Jagriti, can you bring up the menti.com?
Yeah. I hope you can now see my screen. Can you all see my screen?
Yeah, I'm seeing Stream Cipher.
Okay.
Very well encrypted.
Only 4 feedbacks.
So
you still
team
have some
Haria.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we will, in the third session, we are going to discuss something about EC2. Please don't miss that session. And then we will also let you know how you can, what is your learning path for AWS, how you can learn further. So we'll be sharing good links in YouTube and AWS training, and then the architecture diagrams and all those things, white paper links. So please join the next session.
Yeah, or you can take time after you log off. If you want to just write back to us, use the same code and write it back to us, and it should be okay.
I think a couple more would actually at least fill the page, I'm encouraging people to give. I know
you're absolutely right.
It's same as like the hotel guy stands next to you and asking you to give feedback. It's very tough, but you do it anyway. I know. I hope these sessions are going well. As again we repeat. So please feel free to reach back to us, and then whenever there is something coming on social, just encourage the group so that we do it much better with a better well encouraged, and then do more like this. Yep. With that, I think thank you everyone. I know the feedback is still going on. Keep going. So now it is 12:33. With that, I hope this session was useful to you, and look forward to see you next week. Meanwhile, have a good day. Stay happy, stay healthy, and stay safe.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone.
See you next week.
Thank you, everyone.
Satya and team will be dropping off as well. So I'll see you soon.
Immediately after this.
Yeah, is there anything to discuss? Because I have something else planned after this.
Maybe just 5 minutes,
okay.
Then we'll close. Quickly,
cool.
Very quick.
Cool.
Okay. Just have one more. Okay.
No, it's done. Okay.
See, you can upload the solution video. You can upload the solution video, whoever is sending the email, please upload the solution video. It is there in the video recordings. You just have to move it.
Okay. So now I think only 4 of us. So it's a very quick, Jagriti will not take more time. I think we got the presentation already by Akash. So I'll make that edits, but we require presentation from Vandana for for the session 3. And then videos from Akash. Akash will be giving it by Tuesday. That is for session 3, right? For session 2 completion, Madhu, you have all the material ready?
Yeah, complete material ready. I'm just sharing the draft.